𝐀𝐮𝐠𝐮𝐬𝐭. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the Princess Secrets Show, which comes on every Friday night at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And we also come on at 4 o'clock all the way across the country. We come on at 4 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So thank you all so very much for coming out and joining us on this very, very hot day. It's been hot here in Kentucky for the whole week. But thank you so very much for coming and joining us. And my name is Norma Bryan Howard, and I am your hostess for the Princess Secret Show. And I'm coming to you live from Studio 2020. So once again, thank you. We're going to have a real good time this evening. Before we meet our extraordinary couple who's going to be on our show this evening, I would like for you to do a real big favor for me. What I would like for you to do is tag at least five friends that you have, and just ask them to join tonight's show. And also, I'd like to ask you to, if you haven't already done it, to also join my Facebook Live page. Join my Facebook Live page and hit that like button. And you can also subscribe to my Facebook Live. So, with all that being said, our fantastic couple who's agreed to be with us this evening. They come to us this evening all the way from the East Coast. And so they've got some exciting information to give us, and they're just a delightful couple. And I've just been excited about having them on all week long. So just settle back and relax because we got a show for you this evening. So without further ado, I would like to bring them on right now. Well, hello, Ray and Lauren Bond. Hi, how are you all doing this evening?
Doing well, doing
Doing very
well.
well.
Well, you're looking well this evening. You're looking well this evening, and I would like to tell my audience that both of you all have been married for a few years here. And I'm going to let you all tell everything that you want the audience to know about you because you two are an exciting couple, and I've never met too many couples like you. So would you please introduce yourself because you know what they say, inquiring minds, they want to know. All right.
Well, I am Minister Ray Bond, and
I'm Lauren Bond, his wife of 12 years.
12 good years.
Great,
Of
great.
12, of 12 years. Wonderful. So, you all live on the East Coast. Have you all lived up there the entire 12 years of your marriage?
Yes, yeah, we've been here. We met in this area, and yes, I've been here ever since. And yeah,
Okay. All right. Now, where are you from originally, Raymond?
I am originally from Indianapolis, Indiana,
Oh, wow. Go
home of
Colts.
the
Go
Indianapolis
Colts.
Colts.
Go Colts.
How did the Colts work their way in this? That's
Hey.
my husband.
Okay. All right. All right. Well, we're going to get into the meat of some of these questions that we'd like to ask you all tonight. And I'm sure that people have asked you all these questions before. But before I ask you this, Minister Bond, do you have a church? Do you have, a group of people that you minister to? Do you go out into the community? Do you work in the prisons? Do you work with teenagers? Do you work with the homeless? Just what part of ministry are you in?
We attend Hope Christian Church, which is in Beltsville, Maryland. Have been there for a long time.
Definitely over 12 years.
Yeah. We are youth ministers, youth pastors at our church, and it's a teen ministry. So basically 13 to 18 years
Mhm.
old. And we've been doing that for,
Definitely over 10 years.
yeah, probably over 10 years. Yeah. So, and I think altogether, there's probably, if everyone was there, what are we about numbers wise?
I mean, as a church with a membership, we probably have definitely over about 75 teens, but we meet with them on a weekly basis. We've been trying to keep them engaged, especially in this last year. We've gone virtual and really trying to keep our children engaged with us, because it's been hard for them as well. Their schooling education has been turned upside down. So we have a team of 12 leaders, and they are awesome. So they support us every week, and we just do what God has called us to do.
Oh, wow, that is amazing because the teens, they definitely need you, as they say, in times like these. They definitely need, role models, and to have a married couple who have been together for so many years. You can be a role model to them because some kids don't have role models, as you know.
Very
They
true.
don't have role models. So I think that is wonderful. Okay, so you told the audience that you guys have been married 12 years. Now here goes the big question, which is, how did the two of you all meet? Did you all meet in ministry, or at work, or just how did you meet? A blind date, or just what? Tell us, we want to know.
So it was New Year's Eve, and I was sitting at home, had nothing to do, but my grandparents and my aunts had gone to an event down in Virginia at a hotel. It was a New Year's Eve celebration. And then they were like, security's not that good, so you guys should try to come join us. And so I go down there to hang out with my grandparents and my aunt on New Year's Eve. And this was security that wasn't that good. So got in, and I mean, essentially, I was on a dance floor, and someone had apparently spilled a drink on the dance floor, and I slipped and fell on it.
Oh, wow.
And so, security had to come to make sure I was okay. Essentially, he was making sure I hadn't been drinking and fell out on the floor. But I was like, sir, I don't drink. I'm here with my grandparents, and they need to clean the floor. But yes, and then my really good friend gave him my phone number, and it took him 3 months to call.
Oh my goodness. He was a little shy.
Yeah. It's all about pace.
I like that, Ray. All about the pace. Well, that is so amazing, and I just think that is so adorable. That Lauren, you said you went to a dance that your grandparents were at, and here you are, the cute little young girl at home with Netflix.
I don't even think
She's at home with Netflix.
That's the sad thing.
Yeah, because this is actually
that was
17 years. Yeah, so we've been married 17 years ago. Yeah.
My, amazing. So that slip and fall on the dance floor changed your life.
Essentially, yes, it did.
Yes, that slip and fall absolutely changed your life. Okay, so were the grandparents and the aunts, were they thrilled when they found out that you two ended up dating?
Oh, my grandmother, prior to her passing, she absolutely loved this man. So he somehow, I would say it was probably a couple of years before she passed, convinced her to get on his motorcycle. And first she said no, and all of my family's like, yes, no. And then she comes back out and said, yes, I want to get on. She trusted this man for her very first time getting on a motorcycle and riding around the neighborhood. So she was so excited.
And yeah, she was excited.
She's on the back, and she's waving and stuff. Yeah,
we're like, you need to hold on, Grandma.
Oh, that's a cute story. I like that. I really like that. I'm a grandma, and I want to do that before the end of my life comes. I want to do that. I've never done that. That's been a big desire of mine, to get on a motorcycle. So Ray, see, she was looking so ravishing that evening. Was she wearing that royal blue that she has on right now? What was she wearing?
She was not. She was not.
Now tell us what color. What color was it? What color was she wearing?
I will be honest. I don't remember. but you know what? Let me preface it by this. So at that point, I was not in any way, shape, form, or fashion looking to meet anyone. In fact, myself, Lauren, and her girlfriend, we all just kind of got to talking, and her girlfriend says, well, here, take our numbers, give us a call sometime. So she writes the numbers down, and I kid you not, I when I got back to my apartment, I put the phone numbers on a ledge and just kept living, so it was kind of like, and like I said, yeah, about 3 months after that, it was like, I see the number and I'm like, you know, and then, yeah, I called then and yeah, the rest is kind of bliss. Even when I went to visit her the first time at the school she was teaching at.
My goodness. Well, I like that story. I like that story. And I'm so glad that you didn't inadvertently take that piece of paper and go like, what is this? As you was Saturday morning cleaning.
Right.
And threw it in trash can. I'm glad that you didn't do that. So who was the most nervous on that first date that you had? And do you all remember where you went on your first date?
I think we went to Olive Garden, and at that point, we had spoken so much that I don't think it was nervousness, and we were both kind of in that place that we are not looking to be in a relationship. So it was a date, but it wasn't a date. It was more like, hey, let's just get together, let's just go eat, kind of a thing. So it wasn't a nervous. It was just kind of just natural. It really was. It was weird because I think we were very much in the right headspace to start a friendship. Like I tell the kids all the time, he literally courted me. I mean, to the point where, you know, I was just like, me dating him? No, we're just friends. He's just a really good friend. And we're both in transitions in our life. So this just makes sense. So yeah, that's that first year, we didn't even really entertain that. It was just hanging out.
Just hanging out and having just a good time. I think that's wonderful. That's wonderful. I really, really do like that. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you all to come up. I hope you remember your English, Raymond. I hope you
Ooh.
remember, you know, when you were in English class, you know, it was all about the parts of speech and the nouns and the verbs and the adjectives and all those
Yeah,
good
kind
things.
of
Remember that?
in
Remember that,
between
Ray?
dozing, off. But yeah,
That's all it is. Okay. All right. So I want you to come up with an adjective. And remember, that's a descriptive word. Okay. You know, I'm an old school teacher too.
Uh-oh.
So come up with a descriptive word that you can come up with that will describe Lauren. Just one, I'm looking for just one word, like one descriptive word, an adjective that can describe just overall and just describe her whole entire being.
With amazing fit.
Amazing. Amazing. All right. I like that. I like that. Okay. Now I'm gonna really be the old. I'm still with Raymond. Now this is gonna be me, really me. Okay, now since playing the part of the English teacher today, now Ray, use that word in a sentence that you using to describe Lauren. Now use it in a sentence to describe Lauren.
Next to God, Lauren is the most amazing person in my
Oh, I love it. Say it a little louder. I can hear it too.
life.
Say it louder.
Next to God, Lauren is the most amazing person in my life.
Oh my goodness, to live on this earth, to have a man say that about me. It hadn't happened. That one hasn't happened yet. It's going to happen though. Okay. All right. Very good. You get an A. He gets an A for today. He didn't even have to go to the office. Okay. All right. Now, Laura, now you have the same assignment. Come up with your word. Tell us what your word is. Then you have to use it in a sentence to describe Ray.
I'm gonna say loving.
Loving, loving. Oh, I love that. I love love. Okay, loving came across the screen. Okay, now your next assignment is to use that word in a sentence describing Ray.
Oh wow, I guess I don't want to sound just like your sentence, but I've never met a man that has treated me in the most loving way that I love to be treated.
Oh my goodness. Can you say that again? I want to hear it again because it sounded so good.
I've
Sounded so good.
I've never met a man who's ever loved me in the most loving way that I needed to be loved.
Then she needed to be loved. Ah, I love it. Amazing and loving. Two wonderful adjectives that describes the partner that you have. Oh, I just love that. I love that. That has been so beautiful. Okay, now you said that you all have been married for 12 years. What is the one big lesson that you learned about being married? Now, being in a relationship, and maybe he lives in his house or you live in yours, or maybe if you had even lived together, there's something about a marriage that just changes the whole parameter when you are married to that person. So what have you learned? And you know, every day we learn in lessons. We know that very well. Every day there's a lesson in life. So what lesson, I'm going to start with Lauren first. What lesson have you learned over the 12 years that you've been in a relationship with your husband?
So prior to getting married, we had gone to a conference, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with Gary Chapman, who developed the love languages.
Oh, yes, right. I'm familiar
So
with him.
we went to this conference, and he made an analogy, and we really it resonated with both of us, and we said, you know, this is how we want to live our life and really work through our marriage, and understanding that marriage is something we have to be intentional about. And he said, you have to treat your marriage like your health. You have to have those checkups, those points at which you check and be very intentional about ensuring the health of your marriage. And so
Mm-hmm.
what he said is, at least twice a year, do something for that purpose. So we make it a point, even though 2020 messed us up a little, but to whether it's going to a marriage conference, meeting, reading a book on a couples or a marriage book, going to see, a counselor for a healthy marriage visit, just to kind of make sure we're going on the right path, and really considering and being intentional with how we grow together. So that was
That
the
is
important thing.
that is the best advice that I think I've ever heard for a marriage checkup. And you know, because sometimes people feel that they can do I've never been married and I don't know anything about marriage, but it'll work itself out. But marriage, it takes work. Marriage takes work. And I do have just happen to have this book here. This is
There it
Gary
is.
Chapman here, the five love languages. So since you all have taken a class about the five love languages, Lauren, what do you think your love language is? What is your? And I'm going to ask you. You're up next, Raymond. Okay. So
Yes,
what do you think your love language is? You know,
I
from having
know.
attended that.
I absolutely know. I'm an acts of service girl.
She's an acts of service. Okay, that is one of the five love languages. And when he does something for you that endears him to your heart even more, acts of service. You come home and he's mopped the floor, vacuumed the house. He just got the clothes, washing them in the washing machine, and that's what really endears him to you, is his acts of service to you. The acts of service. I love that one. I love that one. Okay, guess who's on the hot seat next? Who's on the hot seat next? It's Mr. Raymond Bond. Okay, I'm going to ask him that same question, which is, in case he almost happened to forget it, I've forgotten what we said, is what is the big lesson that you have learned in the 12 years of marriage? And then I'm going to ask you to tell me what your love language is. Okay.
I would say the biggest lesson is, interestingly enough, in one of the counseling or ministry meetings that we've gone to, they talked about in a discussion, communication. I say it's communication. And to give you an example, we use they call it like the drive-through effect. And so it's like when you go to, we'll use McDonald's. Let's use Chick-fil-A. You go to Chick-fil-A and you go to the drive-through window and you say, hey, I'd like a chicken sandwich, potato fries, and a strawberry shake. And the person reads back to you, so you want chicken tenders, potato fries, and a Coke. No, I want a chicken sandwich, potato fries, and a strawberry shake. Well, the thing is that until she repeats that back to me, that we know that we're on the same page, I don't move forward to the next window. Because if I do move forward, then by the time we get to the end, we'll be in two totally different places. I'll be frustrated, she'll be frustrated. So the thing is really communication, and as you're talking, to make sure the person is following with you, as we call tracking with you, so that you end up at the same place. So that, to me, that has been huge. Just learning how to communicate, and making sure that, like I say, that all through the course of the conversation that she's with me and tracking to where I'm going to.
Tracking with you. Oh, so many terms or phrases that I'm not even familiar with. And I am so impressed with the knowledge that you all have gained, and you all went out to seek this. A lot of couples get in deep water and they just, marriage is falling apart, and they're still saying, I don't need anybody to help me. I don't need a marriage counselor. I don't need a marriage retreat. Oh, we'll do it on our own. And the next thing you know, they're getting a divorce. So I really do like that. And that tracking, I wrote it down, tracking with you, and the communication, because we do know a marriage is in really, really serious trouble if the people don't know how to communicate, if they don't know how to communicate. Okay, so I'm going to pick up my little book again. It's the Gary Chapman 5 Love Languages. So what do you think your love language is, Raymond?
I forget how it's worded in there, but I'm an attention guy.
What's it again?
Words of affirmation.
Yes, words of affirmation. That's how it's worded in the book. Yeah, words of affirmation.
Okay, words of affirmation. Yeah. Just complimenting and saying kind words to you. And if you did mop the floor up and vacuum the house or whatever, the dishes, and she just came in from work and just plopped all her stuff down and just went to the bedroom to do whatever she needed to do. And you're saying to yourself, she didn't even notice that I did anything. She didn't even say anything about how great, I had done this job or whatever. But words of affirmation, and you do know how to use those words of affirmation. Am I right, Lauren?
I am very, very well aware.
Very well aware of how to use it. And if people have not read this book, do you all recommend it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Because the tendency is for people to love someone the way they want to be loved.
Right.
But the book teaches you to learn about your spouse so that you can love them the way they want to be loved.
They need to be loved. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
That's the difference.
Oh, I tell you, you all have got it going on. You all have it going on. So do you all lead any marriage retreats?
We don't lead marriage retreats, but it's very interesting how God calls you to do things that you never really planned to do, but out of being obedient to those things, we have a couple of couples that we are marriage mentors to, and
oh, I like that.
We are very intentional about our relationships with them. One of them, we meet with them on a monthly basis, and when they have challenges, they know that we're here for them. And because one of the things that we were taught is you don't just go to anybody about your challenges that you're having within your marriage. You want to go to someone who's going to give you wise counsel. When people are concerned about counseling and therapy in marriage, God never intended for us to do this thing alone. He said, you seek wise counsel. We know that there are people out there who have guided us and supported us in our marriage. And he knows who I'm okay with him going to if he has an issue with me. And the same that, he knows who I would go to, because we trust that those people are going to give us sound advice and godly advice. And so we, in turn, for the blessing of having those type of people in our lives, we know that we are called to be that for other couples, and that's what we do. And you know, it helps us to check ourselves. When you gotta try to hold someone else accountable, it really causes you to look at your marriage on a regular basis and ensure that, are we living by what we're advising other people to do?
Oh, incredible, incredible. I just tell you, that is just awesome. That is just awesome. Well, I hope that our audience has out a pen and they have a little piece of paper beside them so they can jot down. I've been jotting down some notes myself. Seek wise counsel. And that does say that in the Bible. Seek some wise counsel. Just don't ask anybody. You know, sometimes, especially ladies will do this. I don't think men do this. They'll go to their girlfriends and maybe having an issue, and they go to the girlfriend's house and crying on her shoulder and telling her what Billy Bob did to her and how upset she is. And this woman that she's going to doesn't have a good track record. She might even be not married, might be a man basher, or just anything. And that certainly isn't a wise person to give you some advice. But as females, we do that, you know, just because she's my friend, and we've been friends since high school. You know, I'll tell her everything about what's going on in my relationship, and she'll be able to help me. No, she can't. But I like that. I wrote that down. Seek wise counsel. That
You know, yeah, 'cause it's good to not, you know, the tendency is to go to the people who are going to give you the answer that you want to hear. And that is not typically what's best for the marriage, you know. And we have, you know, as Lauren was saying, certain people, you know, that we go to, if you will, that know us both. You know, we're not going to somebody that, oh, well, they don't know her, or that person doesn't know me, you know, but they know us both, and they have our best interests at heart, our marriage at heart, you know. So that's kind of the difference.
Well, I tell you, you all have some wise information that you are dispensing to the audience here this evening. So what's the best part of being married? I know, you know, if you're going to a movie, who wants to go to a movie by themselves? What's the best part about being married, Lauren?
I mean, I ultimately enjoy spending time with my best friend. I mean, you know, there's times where things will happen and something will happen, or you know, at work, I get some great feedback or something great happens. And my first thought is, oh my gosh, I can't wait to tell Ray. You know, it's just because I know he knows me, and he's my biggest cheerleader. So I think it's just, I love having him as my best friend, and knowing that there's nothing that I will go through that this man's not going to be by my side.
Oh, that is so many ladies cannot say that. There's so many ladies that cannot say that. And you know what they always say, you got to be friends before you become lovers anyway. And if your friend is your best friend and just happens to be your lover, your husband, you really, really are blessed. That is a true blessing from the Lord. And especially you even being able to say that, you know, that Ray is my best friend. Okay, so the glue that holds your marriage together is, um, I'm assuming you are going to say, Ray, is going to be the communication.
The glue, yeah, yeah. Well, yes, that as well, as boundaries. I would say communication and boundaries. One of the things that we have done is created boundaries. You know, who we're friends with on social media, not having people that don't know the both of us. You know, so really, you know, again, we talked about, you know, who we talk to about issues. You know, not talking to, you know, me not going to some other female that, you know. So, like I say, creating boundaries for our marriage, and then also, yes, the communication. So, there were two things I would definitely say, those two. So.
Okay, all right. You agree with that, Lauren?
Definitely. We created,
Definitely.
we were intentional and created a list, and it was something that we both had to agree on, as well as having, you know, our marriage vision board. And so it
Oh,
reminds.
wait a minute. You got to stop right there. Did you, audience, did you hear what she just said? She said our marriage vision board. She has blown me out of the water. A marriage, I created a vision board. Mine is for like, my career, but I've never ever thought anybody, I've never even heard of a marriage vision board. That's incredible.
It's great. And I actually, what was a couple of years ago, I did a small workshop with several couples and had them sit down and create their marriage vision board. You got to have a vision if you want to be successful, if you want to, have something to strive for and work for. So we know the things that are important to us, and sometimes it's not real until you write it down or put it somewhere. And so it's we keep it right next to our bedroom door. So as we're coming, going out, we can see it there. And so where there's no vision, the people perish. You've got it. So
oh my goodness.
Of
I tell you, that is so incredible. I've never heard of a marriage vision board. I hope you taking notes, because this information that they're giving us for married people, and if you're not married, it's going to help you also, because there are a lot of ladies that are not married, but they want to be married, and they're giving us some information that we could, that we can use for our future success. Okay, now we're going to change it around a little bit. This question, I know that you guys love to travel. I do know that you love to travel. Can you tell me, as a couple, what is the most exciting, adventurous place that you've ever been to, and you had the time of your life? And also let the audience know, where do you want to go next?
Okay. I mean, we've been some great places. I think we were most adventurous and took on more activities and did more when we were in Hawaii, but where we rested and enjoyed ourselves in the beauty of a place, we went to Bali.
Oh, Bali. Oh, that's what I'd love to do. Wow.
It was beautiful.
Oh my goodness, is to go to Bali. So you all have been internationally, you all have traveled internationally.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. That is incredible. That is truly, truly incredible. Okay. Well, I'm going to ask you, it is now time for the Princess Secrets game questions. I guess that's what I'm going to call it. But it's now time for the Princess Secrets game. And we always play this. We can't have our Committed Love series unless we play this. And you cannot speak. You have got to point. When I ask the question, you're going to point to your spouse, point to yourself. Somebody in the control room said, if you can't point to yourself or point to yourself or your spouse, point to God. Okay. So are you guys ready for the Princess Secrets game?
Let's do it.
It's not hard. It's going to be easy. I promise it's going to be easy. Okay, here we go. Number one. Who has the highest IQ? Okay. All right. You can't talk. Okay. You can look at each other, but you can't talk. Okay, here we go. All right. Number two. Who in the marriage just cannot keep a secret? Can't keep a secret. He admitted it. I love it. He admitted it. Okay. All right. Let's keep this train on the track. Here we go. Okay. Number three. Who gives the best gifts? They both agree. God gives the best gifts. Okay. All right. I like that. Okay. Now here goes one. Which is the most talkative when you're trying to sit down and watch a movie or a sports game on TV? Who's the most talkative? She said, okay, Lawrence. Well, we females, we always have such interesting, exciting comments to make right in the middle of the the game, the football game. We have such exciting comments today. Okay, let's see. The next one. Who tells the best jokes? They can be Christian jokes. We have Christian jokes out there. They can be Christian jokes.
I mean, I guess
See.
we're both not real. We don't tell jokes.
Yeah.
I know I'm just funny. I'm just
Yeah,
natural.
I'll just say she's just funny. Yeah.
So Lauren is just naturally, she says, I'm good because I'm just naturally funny. Okay, I like that. All right.
Corny fun.
Who shops the most? Oh.
Okay, now.
Okay.
Actually, he's right.
Okay. All right. Now this one is a real intimate one. Who snores? Oh, she admits she snores. Okay. All right. That's okay. All right. Who is the most afraid when there's a strange noise outside? Yeah. Me too, Lauren. Yes, indeed. Okay. Who's the best cook? Oh, wow. Good. Who, okay. Who, let's see. Let me see. Let me get together. Who gives the best massages in the relationship? They can really give a killer massage. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. And the last one is who? I ask this whenever we play this game. This is my very, very favorite question of all, which is who hogs, let's see, I got to quotation myself. Who hogs the blankets in the wintertime on a cold, wintry night? Who? Well, Raymond Bond, how dare you hog
No,
that sweet little lady? She's too cute.
She gets hot though. She gets hot. She's always throwing the covers off, and I'm going, okay.
So she throws them off, and you grab them. So that is exactly that just falls right in line with what you want to happen.
Right. Works perfect.
Okay. All right. Well, that ends our questions with our game. Excuse you. That ends our game about the Prince's Secret Chef. And if anybody didn't know, I've got a book that I've written, which is entitled Prince Charming, Where Are You? And we talk all about everything that we have discussed. I take this couple, I mean, they are extraordinary. They are knowledgeable. They are Christian couple who lets God lead their lives. They don't make decisions on their own without having the Lord to lead their lives. So in conclusion, is there any final comments that either of you would like to make to our audience this evening?
I mean, I would, before Lauren, I would just say, in any relationship, learn to be friends. When we met, she was playing flag football, and, so we did fun stuff before we dated. And if I can just be real, before we had sex, before we did anything, because sex kind of starts to haze the whole friendship relationship. So we stayed away from all of that early on and really spent the early years, if you will, just becoming friends. Learn, before you start adding everything else into it, become friends, get to know each other, have fun. The love and everything that can come, you can work with that later, but get to know each other, be friends through everything. That when you get so old that maybe you're not having sex anymore, but that you're still friends, that you still like each other, regardless of what's going on around you. So that would be my advice.
Oh, that's wonderful. You have any concluding words, Lauren?
I think that the one thing that we learned early on is that we're not in this marriage alone. God is at the center of this marriage. And the thing I would say is ensuring that you're praying together, because when two or more come together, he's in the midst. And we just want to be like that 3-braided cord and ensure that before we step, we make sure that God is right alongside with us. And it keeps us accountable to each other. It's hard to argue and be upset with somebody when you got to hold hands each day and pray for them and with them, so
Absolutely.
come before God with spiteful heart and being upset and angry. That's not how you want to do it. So I think that for us, it's just knowing that we keep God at the center of our marriage, and we ensure that we're obedient and we do things that we enjoy, even in the midst of serving, together, and just enjoying our family and just being together. So I think it's just that friends thing is
Wonderful.
important.
That is wonderful. I hope that the audience was taking notes, or go back to the recording, because the recording will be available in just a minute or two, just to go back and just to listen to this couple again, because this is the kind of information that we need to hear. This is the kind of information that we don't. A lot of us don't have opportunity to hear a good Christian couple dispensing information to people who might be in trouble in a relationship, or scared to be in a relationship, and just didn't know. Just a lot of people just don't know. But I'd like to thank you again for being on the Princess Secret Show. And is there any way possible, maybe the first of the year or the springtime, when the flowers get the blooming and budding and everything, maybe we can have you guys come back and visit with us again? Would that be okay?
Oh, definitely.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wonderful. Well, thank you all. And if my audience will give me 1 minute, I got something to say to them. But thank you, Raymond and Lauren Bond,
Thank
couple
you.
extraordinaire. Thank you so much. Love you. Bye-bye. Okay, what I'd like to tell my audience is that I do have these Prince Charming books that I wrote, and they are available on, and I'm hoping that my website will come up there. It goes across the screen. Right now, you can go to princecharmingway.com. You may order this, and it's got a lot of good, useful information in it. And what we heard tonight was also extraordinary. So don't forget, we come on every Friday night, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific time, and those 2 time zones in between. We'd like to thank you. You have a marvelous, marvelous weekend. And remember, wear those masks. Continue. Please don't stop saying a prayer for the whole wide world. Have a wonderful evening, and see you next week. Bye-bye.